2 sine of 2x equals 1. How do we solve this problem? Well, it's just like solving an algebraic equation in the sense that what you want to do is you want to get the trig function by itself. So we're trying to get the sine of 2x by itself first. So let's go ahead and do that by dividing both sides of the equation by 2. Okay, so now we have sine of 2x equals 1/2. Now what we're going to do is we're going to treat this quantity here, this angle, as a group, as a chunk. So we're going to say sine of what angle equals 1/2. Now we're going to go to the unit circle, and if you need some help reviewing the unit circle, I'll put a link to a video I talked about how to master the unit circle and give you some practice with that. So check that video out, but we're going to jump into this. Sine of 2x equals 1/2. Now remember, the sine is the y coordinate, and on the unit circle, where does the y value equal 1/2? Well, you can see that's going to be at a 30-degree reference angle. That's going to be right here, and it's also going to be in the second quadrant right here. Okay, now what we want to do is we're going to write this as a general solution. And so what we want to do is we're going to say that 2x is equal to pi over 6, which is 30 degrees, plus 2 pi n, where n is an integer, meaning, you can add 2 pi, that's like going once around the circle. You can add another 2 pi, or you could add like a negative 2 pi, negative 4 pi. If you keep going around 2 pi, that's one revolution. You're going to end up in the same point on the circle where the sine value, the y coordinate, is going to be equal to positive 1/2. Now also over here, this is at 150 degrees, or 5 pi over 6. So let me write that down. 2x equals 5 pi over 6 plus 2 pi n. Again, because if you add 2 pi, you go once around the circle, you end up in the same spot, you get that sine value of 1/2. But we're not interested in solving for 2x. We're actually solving for 1x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this by 2, everything on the left and right sides by 2. So if we do that, you can see we're solving for x, but now what we're getting is we're getting pi over 12 plus pi n, and here we're getting 5 pi over 12 plus pi n. And that's our general solution for what x equals. So let me just circle that for us. Now, if the instructions said, not to get a general solution, but just to solve for all the angles to satisfy this equation from 0 to 2 pi, say for example like this, 0 to 2 pi, including 0 but not including 2 pi, so once around the unit circle, what you would actually do is you would list the angles going around the unit circle twice. Now I'll show you why twice. Like say for example, this here you can see is pi over 6. This over here is 5 pi over 6. This over here would be, let's see, that's 2 pi plus another pi over 6. So what's that? That's 13 pi over 6. And then over here we would have, how much would this be? This would be 17 pi over 6, right? But the thing is what we actually solve for is we solve for 2x. So what we would then do is we would divide all these angles by 2, and that would still keep you within, see, 17 pi over 12, that's still just once around the unit circle. So even though we went around twice when I found these 4 angles, because we actually are dividing by 2, that's going to keep us within the restricted domain here of 0 to 2 pi. So let's jump into another example so you can see how this works. So number 2, it says 3 tangent squared of 4x minus 1 equals 0. So just like solving an algebra equation, we want to isolate that tangent. We want to get that tangent by itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to add 1 to both sides. Okay, so we have 1, and now we have 3 tangent squared of 4x. We're going to divide both sides by 3, okay, to get that tangent by itself. So now we're down to tangent squared of 4x equals 1/3. We're going to take the square root of both sides because we just want to get tangent by itself. So now we have tangent of 4x equals plus or minus 1 over the square root of 3, because square root of 1 is 1, square root of 3 is square root of 3. And if we rationalize this, you can see we're getting plus or minus square root of 3 over 3. Now remember, when you take the square root of both sides, you get 2 answers, plus or minus. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the unit circle, and we're going to say to ourselves, okay, where does tangent equal square root 3 over 3? Now remember, tangent is the y value divided by the x value. So we're going to be looking at, let's see, this is going to be right here at the 30-degree reference angles. And the reason is because, see, this point is square root 3 over 2, comma 1/2. Tangent is y over x, so you can see we're getting 1/2 over square root 3 over 2. If we multiply the top and bottom by 2, see how we get 1 over square root of 3, which is what we had here, and then if you rationalize, you're going to get square root 3 over 3. But now here's the thing, if we want to write this as a general solution, what you want to do is you want to look at these 4 points. And one thing to pay attention to is that you see how these are across from each other? That's an important distinction there. So you can see this is pi over 6. Okay, so 4x, we actually are solving for this angle, 4x equals pi over 6 plus pi n. Now pi is just 180 degrees, it's just a half a revolution. So every time we add pi, we end up at this point, another pi would end up at this point, and so on. If we were to add pi, you can see that there's not a corresponding point that's 1/2 revolution, around the circle from that point. So we were having to add 2 pi, 1 full revolution. Here we're just adding 1 pi. So we've got 4x equals pi over 6 plus pi n, and we also have 5 pi over 6 plus pi n is equal to 4x. Now we want to just solve for 1x, so I'm going to divide everything by 4, okay, both left and right sides. And so that comes out to what? That's pi over 24 plus pi over 4n, and x equals 5 pi over 24 plus pi over 4n. So that's our general solution right there. So that's the key. Now let's go into another example, number 3. We've got 2 times the cosine of x divided by 2 equals square root of 3. So same idea here. We're trying to get that cosine by itself. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2. Okay, so now we're asking ourselves, cosine of what angle? I'm going to treat this like a group. Cosine of what angle equals square root 3 over 2? Well, remember, cosine is the x coordinate, right, on the unit circle. So we're asking ourselves, where's the cosine root 3 over 2? That's again going to be at a 30-degree reference angle. See how this is root 3 over 2, comma 1/2? Cosine is the x. But we want to know where cosine's positive root 3 over 2. That's going to be over here at 30 degrees and over here at 330 degrees. So this one I'm going to do in degrees. These ones I did in radians. So we're going to say that x over 2 equals 30 degrees plus 360n, or we could say x over 2 equals 330 degrees plus 360n. Now notice I'm not adding 180 degrees because that would put us over here and there's not a corresponding point where cosine equals square root 3 over 2. But now let's take it one step further. Let's multiply both sides by 2 to get x by itself. Okay, so if we do that, we're going to get x equals 60 degrees plus 720n. And if we multiply this side by 2, we're going to get 660 degrees plus 720n. Okay, now if they just said find all the solutions from 0 to 360, meaning once around the unit circle, here if we let n equal 0, you can see we're getting x equals 60 degrees. Here if we let n equal 0, we're going to be getting 660 degrees, which is not in a restricted domain of 0 to 360, right? So you would only just get one solution here, just 60 degrees, if that was the restricted domain. But here, if we're writing this as a general solution, we can just have it written as 60 plus 720n or 660 plus 720n. Okay, let's go into a fourth example here now. So number 4, we've got 5 secant squared of 3x equals 10. So how are we going to solve this? Same idea. We're going to divide both sides by 5. We're trying to get that secant by itself. So that comes out to 2. So we're saying secant squared of 3x is equal to 2. Secant, though, is really what? It's the reciprocal of cosine. 2 is like 2 over 1. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the reciprocal of both sides of this equation. So if I do that, I get cosine squared of 3x is equal to 1/2. If I take the square root of both sides, remember you get 2 answers, plus or minus. Square root of 1 is 1. Square root of 2, we can rationalize this. This is going to be root 2 over root 2, like that, which is square root 2 over 2, plus or minus. And so that's saying the cosine of 3x. Okay, so now let's go to our unit circle. So where does cosine equal positive or negative root 2 over 2? Okay, if we draw our unit circle, cosine's the x. It's going to be root 2 over 2 here, negative root 2 over 2 here, negative root 2 over 2 here, positive root 2 over 2 here. But what's interesting about this particular problem is that, see, these are 45-degree reference angles, okay? But notice how these points are actually 90 degrees apart, okay? And so what we can do, if we write this as a general solution, is we could say 3x equals pi over 4, so 45 degrees, plus 90 degrees, or pi over 2 radians times n. So what we're doing is we're adding 90 degrees. That takes us to the next point where cosine is equal to root 2 over 2. And we keep adding 90 degrees, and we keep basically bouncing around to the next corresponding